Welcome to the Living in Bellevue, Washington channel. If you're new here, this channel is all about what it's like to really live in Bellevue, Washington. I tell you about uptown, downtown, what it's really like to eat, sleep, play, breathe in and around Bellevue, Washington. Today we're going to be focusing on new construction. So if you've thought about moving to Bellevue, if you already live in Bellevue and you're curious about new construction, how that works, that's the information we're going to tackle here. If you really like this content, please hit that like button. It helps anybody else who's looking for this information find it more easily. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. If you hit that notification bell and the subscription button, you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video to this channel, which I really try to do at least once or twice a week. My name is Silva and I'm a real estate agent right here in Bellevue, Washington. And my team and I, we get so many calls and emails. It's fantastic. You can do the same thing. If you are thinking about moving to Bellevue, Washington, if you are already in Bellevue, Washington and you need help either selling your house or buying new property in Bellevue, my team and I are here ready to help you. And honestly, we get so many calls and emails. Like I said, it's fantastic. You can call me, you can email me, you can text me. You can hit that little calendar link down below and get on my calendar. If you are considering a move to Bellevue, Washington, please get in touch. We've got you covered. There is nothing quite like new construction. I love new construction. The builders have really honed their skills, every attention to detail, their marketing. They have big, glorious windows and high ceilings and fantastic room sizes, and there's no clutter and there's no noise, and the staging is done to perfection. And you walk into these homes and you really picture that you can live here and have a wonderful life and make great memories in this home, because it has everything that you need. However, this is why you need a local agent. You need to have somebody so that you can really compare builder to builder, house to house, neighborhood to neighborhood, and even community to community. It is really easy to get drawn into the beauty of new construction, and that's where your local agent is going to help you. So today, again, we're going to be talking about new construction, and you may have considered new construction as your home purchase, and you may not have considered it as your new home purchase. A lot of people during the buying frenzy were looking towards new construction because in Bellevue, Washington, it was a little bit more palatable because there was less of a bidding war, less competition. It was fairly easy to get into a new construction build without having to come up on price so much. And let's clarify that new construction is going to be a house that has not already been lived in Bellevue, Washington. So any house that's already received certificate of occupancy and has already been sold to one owner previous to you is going to be a resale house. So new construction is not going to be a resale. We have so many fantastic builders in this area. We have quite a few national builders, D.R. Horton, Pulte Homes. We have loads and loads of custom home builders, and then we have our local home building team. It would be great for you to get in touch with a local real estate agent because we know the market, and while you might be coming from Georgia, might be very familiar with Pulte, you might realize that our local builders are quite detail oriented and build a very fine quality home. And a lot of the local builders actually attract more money in resale because of their name in the area. But we're going to focus today not on actual builders, but on what you can expect when you're buying a new construction home. And obviously there's going to be a little bit of variation between a national builder, between a local builder, between a custom home builder, and of course resale is what we're going to be eliminating today. One of the easiest things to sell in real estate is new construction because most builders have an absolutely stunning model home. In the case here in Bellevue, because we have so many custom homes, we don't always get to walk through the property until it reaches a certain point, but custom home builders are very, very used to accommodating buyers on the property, and often you can pick the finishes. For the local builders and the national builders, we most often see model homes, one model home, several model homes. The local builders that I'm familiar with will often change models. If that model home gets sold, they'll just move over to a different house in the same unit, in the same plan development, and open a new model home. A model home allows the builder to showcase their quality. It's a staged property normally, but they can really showcase what they do. The quality, the features, upgrades. Oftentimes you have to be careful because some of the model homes will include upgrades that are not an option for a buyer, but that is what you can find out and ask the right questions and find out when you look at new construction and when you walk through those model homes. It also gives you a much better sense as to room sizes versus looking at a plan with dimensions on it. Depending on where you are coming from, I would like to tell you that in Bellevue, builders often have to apply for permits, and sometimes it can take up to a year for the builder to receive a permit before they can start construction on a home. And until that point, they're not going to advertise that property for sale. They might advertise the property for sale as soon as they receive the permit, but because the house, the model, everything has to be decided and approved before building starts, that specific house model is going to go on that specific lot. We do not have the option anymore of saying, I want house A on lot 67 over here. Those days are over because the permitting process is much more detailed, and it's very difficult to make changes within the city of Bellevue when it comes to permitting. If you are interested in buying a new construction home, it is important for really any house in Bellevue that you have a pre-approval letter. The builder wants to see not only that you've been approved, but the information has gone through underwriting, you have been vetted, and the information is correct. If you are being a cash buyer, then they would like to see proof of funds, whether it be your stock portfolio, your bank account, something along the lines showing that you have the money available to you and will continue to have it by the time the house is completed. Of the very, very, very most important things to take into consideration if you are buying new construction is the builder contract. A builder contract is not going to be the same thing as a multiple listing services contract. Those contracts we use for resale properties and for some custom home builders or newer builders that are still applying by those contracts. Most national builders and even local builders of a larger scale will be using their own contracts. Those contracts are drafted by attorneys, and those contracts lean in the favor of the builder, which is why it's important that you have a local agent to represent you. Make sure you read those contracts. I have seen some of those contracts be upwards of 150 pages. It is important that you read the contract, ask the questions. Your agent should also be reading the contract. In many cases, we can answer the questions for you directly. If you don't feel comfortable getting those answers, we can ask the listing agent that works for the builder, that represents the builder, to give a more detailed answer to any questions you might have. But please make sure you read that contract from beginning to end. Important to note that most builder contracts are very difficult to escape. I've been fortunate of all the new construction that I have sold, either as a builder's rep or as a real estate agent representing a buyer. My buyers have always been happy, but it is very important to note that if there's a change in your circumstances, the contract is very, very tight and it's very difficult to get out of, so make sure you read it thoroughly. There are a few builders that will have modeled or spec homes available for closing, and that of course is a rolling date that changes continually as building always goes on. However, if you buy a house, purchase a new construction home from a builder that has not been started or is not complete, the closing date will probably be either blank, it will be a to be determined date, or it will be a rough estimate. In the builder's contract, from my experience, normally a builder has up to 2 years to get a property completed. I've never seen it happen. I've never seen that take that long. Not even during times of COVID have I seen it take that long, but that is an option for the builder to complete that. Now you have to remember the permitting process has to be complete before the builder can even start construction. During the time of building, there will be several inspections going on. So inspections can cause a delay if maybe something is done incorrectly or not up to code, or the inspector does not pass it, which is what we call it, they pass inspection. The builder needs to repair the defect, let's call it that, and then the inspector has to come back out and pass approval on it. There could be material shortages, there could be weather issues, there could be labor issues. There are lots of different reasons why there could be time delays on a build. Sometimes it goes a little faster, that's fantastic. And if that does go faster and the builder has the house ready, you are required to close when the builder does have the house ready. But be prepared, there's no hard date. So if you sign a contract with a builder and it's January 1st and they say you're gonna move in August 1st, do not get upset if that doesn't happen in that time. Like I said, there are lots and lots and lots of reasons why a build might get delayed. You have to just go with the flow. Part of the builder's contract is to show that you have either the pre-approval or proof of funds, but also to put down earnest money, which they refer to as a deposit. So in most cases with a resale property, you would probably be putting down, depending on how badly you want the house, a fair sum of money. With a builder, it is normally 3%. So you could be putting down upwards of $80,000, $90,000 to get into one of these new construction builds in the Bellevue area, because that is 3% of the going price right now. Some builders will require multiple deposits, one to get under contract for the property, and as building goes on and they reach certain milestones, they want more money towards the down payment of the property. I am not an attorney. I don't have any contracts in front of me at the moment. Make sure you read your contract thoroughly. And again, I am not an attorney, but make sure you cover your bases and get an agent that is very, very familiar with the different building contracts that are in the area. Inspections. In resale, you would do an inspection, and perhaps in a buyer's market or a more even market that we're going into right now, ask for a concession or a repair to be done. That is not an option in new construction. What you can do, however, is wait 1 year for your inspection. Some builders ask you to do it at that point in time. But if you do an inspection, bring those issues up with your superintendent or the builder or the customer rep, whoever is your contact point at that point in time. What they'll do is evaluate those issues and repair them if necessary. That is not the same as something that is cosmetic. I picked cultured stone to be on the exterior of my house, and there's too many shades of red in some of the stone, and I want them to be shades of pink instead. That is not considered a defect. Stone is generally a natural product. Cultured stone is manufactured and spray painted to all look pretty continuous. So that is not something that they would consider a repair. Builders are never going to give you money back for something that you deem that needs to be repaired. They have gone through quality control through their own companies. They have had superintendents, general contractors supervising all the work. They have city inspectors going through and double checking everything and passing inspection on everything. However, it is human nature and human work, and people can fail sometimes. So get yourself an inspection. Just because it's new construction doesn't mean you don't need an inspection. Many times your inspector can also explain to you certain features of the house and how to take care of them. Your house will likely come with a warranty, and that will be clearly laid out in your contract. So it's important. Another reason why you should be reading your contract. Builders will do a final walkthrough. They'll do a blue tape walkthrough where we go through and we check for imperfections, say scuff marks on the walls, kitchen cabinets that might not be hung level, or the door, I should say, rather, not being level. Those are simple repairs, and they usually have a team of people who go through and take care of those minor issues. But again, that will all be laid out in your contract. So it's very important to know those information. I even suggest putting it on your calendar right away. Property taxes are also something that are going to be a very rough estimate. In Bellevue, like I said, what we're doing or seeing a lot is taking a very old home, removing it from the property, and building a completely new build on that piece of land. The tax assessor will either have the information from the last property, or if the lot was split, from raw land. So we're really estimating what the house is going to sell for in the beginning and what the tax rate is going to be on that property. So make sure you take that into consideration when you are figuring out your pre-approval. Talked about model homes, builder contracts, timelines, financing, earnest money or deposits. It is very important for you to get a local agent that is familiar with the builder. It is also just as important to get a local lender to be able to facilitate closing as smoothly as possible. We have lots of connections here that we can help you out with. If you are new to the area and don't have somebody, those are the things that are going to help you the most. Having a local lender, having a local agent who understands the contract and the market, those are the things that are going to help you win if you need to bid against anybody or to get into a new construction house. Most of my team, we've spent years developing relationships with site agents, with builders, and selling their products as well to know which ones would appeal to you and to know which ones you're going to have the best future with. So if you are interested in new construction in Bellevue, Washington, there are only about 24 houses currently under construction in all of Bellevue, and I said earlier, I think 12 or 13 of them are custom homes. Prices range from $2 million to $17 million. If you are interested in finding out my opinion about which builders do a fantastic job and why I think they do a fantastic job, please email me, call me, text me, get on my calendar link, whatever it takes, get a hold of me, and I'm going to give you my expert opinion and any advice that I can help you get into the new build of your dreams. Things to consider when you're talking about new construction, and that's where your local agent can really help you. We talked about contracts and appraisals and earnest money deposit, all that good stuff. There's nothing quite like a brand new house. Whether you want a new house just because you want to be the first one to live there, you want everything to be brand new so you are the first one to be able to enjoy it. If you want to be able to pick the finishes for your house, whether it be from an array of beautiful options or step-by-step planning with a custom home builder where you're actually helping to or choosing to move walls and make decisions that might even require permit changes. It is an amazing adventure to be in a new house. I personally think that new construction neighborhoods tend to be the most friendly because everybody there is new and learning what they're going to set their neighborhood to be like, what the tone is going to be. Again, contact your local real estate agent so that you can get the most help in making the best decisions for you.